In for the Night is a podcast that discusses movies, random topics, and gives you an excuse to just stay in for the night.
Bam.
That was good.
You're welcome.
I didn't ask.
I think you did ask subconsciously.
Subconsciously. We'll just keep on repeating that over and over until it gets really real annoying.
Right.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Ty.
How's it going?
Freaking great.
Great.
So great.
So
back to my topic of my video game. It's fantastic. For y'all that don't know, V Rising on Steam is the shit. Probably one of the best vampire games ever made. You can build bases, you can PvP, you can kill shit, you can get servants, you can upgrade your armor, you can build armor, you can build weapons. I mean, it's like World of Warcraft / some type of open world game that I can't freaking think of right now because I'm just like having a brain fart / that vampire game Kane, I think it is. Y'all, if y'all played it before, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think that's the name of it, but Kane is the vampire's name. It's like a clash of all those put together. Super badass. So I've been playing the shit out of it. But anyway.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep while you were discussing this video game.
There's gamers out there who will appreciate what I'm saying right now.
If you're one of those people, please write in because I'm
sure they're listening. There's some out there that are listening. Maybe. Gamers. Well, if not, there needs to be more of us. Gamers unite. Woo. I mean, you play video games, just not what I play.
Sega.
Which you still have, which you can whip out and play.
Yeah. I like Mortal Kombat.
I found it the other day, actually.
I found it the other day, too, and I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so I was like, holy, I used to play Sega Genesis as well. I remember playing True Lives.
True Lies or True Lives?
True Lies. I don't know, the Schwarzenegger movie, but they made into a
True
video.
Lies. That's actually a really good movie.
Yeah,
that's actually on my list too.
And it's they made a video game out of it. And I remember that was one of the last ones I played. And for all that remember Battletoads, fucking sick ass game. I wish they would do a remake of that, but I don't know if they ever would. Battletoads. It was a fighting mechanics.
Battletoads or Battletoads?
Battletoads, like frogs, but they walk like humans. And they find these like crazy ass weapons on the ground, and you just beat the shit out of things. But like when you kill something, they had like it was kind of like a finishing move to where you can like hit them and it'll knock them right into your screen. So like hit the screen and like go. Bah! It was pretty. So
it's kind of like what's that car one where you like beat up strippers and shit?
Car one where you beat up strippers?
Like you steal cars.
GTA. Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, I was like, GTA, what is that?
It's not like that. No.
Ass.
It's not like that. I mean, it's not anything like that, actually.
Except with toads. Are you a toad, or is it?
You play as a toad, yes.
Why was that animal chosen?
Fuck if I know. I didn't make the game. I don't know.
I was like,
but I just wish they would remake it, because it was a stupid fun game.
Don't you think it would be better if it was Battle Kangaroos?
Why would that be better?
Because kangaroos box.
No, Battletoads.
Do you know kangaroos are like the weirdest species of animal?
Why?
Because they literally will go out into a lake and then they'll pretend they're drowning, and then unsuspecting like passersby will try to rescue the kangaroo, and the kangaroo will drown them.
Like a human?
Human, yeah.
Okay, if a kangaroo is that strong to drown someone, then that kangaroo should not be a kangaroo. It should be like famous.
All kangaroos are strong.
Not that strong.
Have you seen them jump?
No. Their legs are strong, but that's not going to do anything in the water.
It helps them swim.
Does it? How?
Beep, beep.
What are you, a car?
Beep, beep, beep. It's like the noise I do on Lala's head.
Well, so that's my video game and fun week. How was your week?
Lots of meetings. We're having like this huge thing at work go through, which is great, well and good, but it's just back-to-back meetings all day, every day, and it's a lot, and I get exhausted, and I get sleepy, and I want to lay down.
You're just sleepy in general, but good news, wifey finally went to the doctor. She, you don't mind, do you?
don't care.
Okay, just a little history. So wifey's like always been kind of tired her whole life. So we've been trying to figure out like what's happening. And she got a bunch of blood work done. Everything came back normal. She got some other not work, but she got some other tests done. Everything came back normal. So we're like, we don't know what the fuck's going on. So I was like, babe, you just go back to the doctor, a legit doctor this time, because in other words, it was...
Like, I always went to legit doctors.
I don't think those are legit. They were like blood work places, but they had doctors there. I don't think it's the same thing.
I went to an actual clinic, babe. I went to 2 different clinics.
I don't think it's the same thing. Anyway, she went to a doctor recently, and they were like, kind of like, what is it, sympathetic with what's going on, because she's like, oh, I do this, and I drink this much water, and I sleep, 80 hours a day, and I'm still sleepy. Like, I don't know what's happening. They're like, you know what? We're going to freaking figure this shit out. And so I like that they said that, and hopefully, well, they did some other tests too, because she told them, well, I've done all these tests, and they're like, well, we'll try these, and so we're just waiting for the results to come back. But, like, it kind of sucks to see her, like, not struggling, but struggling because she's just always tired. But she fights through it. Like, she's probably the most, like, hardcore person I've ever met. Because I know I was going through a B12 thing when I was vegan for 5 years. And I one day it hit me where I just, like, I felt like shit. I couldn't do anything. I was driving home and I was like, okay, it was cool sitting down. But as soon as I started trying to walk again, I felt like I was going to fall on my face. And then I ended up sleeping for, like, I think it was 16 hours or something that day. And then I woke up and I was like, I don't know what the fuck. I was like scared. So then I started looking up things. It was like iron deficiency. It was this deficiency. And then I got to B12 deficiency. And like all the symptoms were like what I was having. So I went to get a B12 thing at a like vitamin shop. And it like instantly had me feeling better. But it's like I know wifey's like that every day. And I could not imagine it. Like I just couldn't do it.
I find myself like a shark. If I stop, I die.
Yeah. Or a hummingbird.
Hummingbird with a little...
hummingbird. I know if they stop, they're like heart explodes or some shit.
No.
Oh, well, I thought that was true.
They have to stop somehow.
Like, I just don't think they can stop for like a long time or
hatch
something.
Eggs and stuff. They have to lay eggs and sit on the eggs and shit.
Because I saw this birds. Like meme or this video. This guy was like, it's my little... It was like a guy with a hummingbird and a guy with a squirrel, and he was like feeding the squirrels, and there were like 2 or 3 squirrels around him, and he was like, they were like, no, and they started fighting. He was like, stop doing that. But anyway, there was a hummingbird there, and he's like, go ahead and take a chill. So the hummingbird was like trying to eat something out of his like little jar thing, and he's like, go ahead and sit down and take a chill pill. And the hummingbird like sat on his hand or finger and started like eating whatever was in this jar. And I was like, I thought hummingbirds couldn't do that. I guess maybe I was lied to my whole life, like bargs in Alaska.
So, topic of Alaska, I actually this weekend decided to create a shirt just for Ty, and it's on our merch site, so if you're interested in that, because he's lied to, there's a map of America with Alaska in the bottom left-hand corner, and Alaska is here. That's what the t-shirt's called.
Because I was so adamant about Alaska being, like, what is it, southwest of California, I guess that would be, right?
Good job.
So... she made a shirt for me. Excuse me, and I'm super excited about it because I'm definitely gonna get it.
But yeah, so my week was good. I'm tired, but I'm here. Today's the actual day of 4th of July.
Happy 4th, happy 4th. Oh, I guess this is actually isn't getting posted until like a week later, huh?
So next Saturday.
Oh, well, it's 4th of July today that we're recording, so happy 4th, even though this is not going to get posted for another week.
Yeah, but then next Sunday, we're going to be in Vegas, so a week from today, we'll be in Vegas. That's going to be fun.
Y'all wish us luck on
my big wheel
winning some monies.
Arrow, go that way. Thank you. He just wants to play. He's a puppy. He's so big now. He's so huge.
Yeah, I took him to the vet the other day, and he weighs 50. Well, they said 48 pounds, but I didn't actually see it, so it's probably 48, 49 pounds.
But he's taller than Lala now.
He is a big boy. He was a runt, and now he's, like, huge.
But other than that, that's, like, the week. We have a few trips coming up. I found out that my boss is wanting to have a manager's gathering. I forgot what it's called. I'm just going to call it the gathering because that sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're wanting to do it in August, so I might be going to San Diego in August.
Nice.
Get some sun.
I haven't been to San Diego since they stopped doing the beer pong tournaments there.
I liked it. I got to see the ocean when I went there for
I
beer
know,
pong.
it was cool. Like, I wish they canceled it that one year because the venue was going through renovations or something like that, and they just haven't
Johnny V's.
Yeah, Johnny V's, and they just haven't done anymore.
Well, and COVID happened, so that's kind of to blame as well. So, but everything's starting to.
Oh, and it's California too, so they're
Cali.
really strict about a whole. You gotta wear your mask and you gotta be vaccinated.
Vaccinated? I'm pretty sure Cali people don't sound like Southern. Oh my God, you gotta be.
Surfer boys. I don't know. Surfer boys. Jeez, I can't talk today. Surfer boys. I can't even talk
I kind of named my car. My car is like an Oasis blue. That's the actual legit name of the color of my car. And so I needed to give him a surfer name. And so I named it Chadwick. And I named it kind of after the guy on Scream Queens named Chadwick Radwell.
Chadwick is more of a like English name or something.
Like he's the douchey guy.
Chadwick.
But anyway, if your name's Chadwick and you're not douchey, I'm sorry. But if you've seen the TV shows Scream Queens, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Anyway, so let's get cracking.
Let's get down to business.
To defeat the Hun. I'm getting it up for you.
Surprisingly, I did not read the synopsis before we started.
So yeah, apologies. So when we were about to start the movie, Ty realized how long this movie was. Which, if you just asked me prior, you would have known.
Or if you just would have told me prior, because you said you had seen it.
You didn't decide on the movie until the episode, so suck it.
Okay, and your point. I could have chose something else. Anyway, so
it's long, so sorry.
As we are going here.
But it was good.
It is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. IMDb got a 7.8 out of 10, which that should be a 10 out of 10. 71% on Rotten Potatoes and 4.3 out of 5 on Voodoo.
We forgot to say synopsis.
I said synopsis, baby. You just weren't listening.
Penis, penile. Okay, go for it. That's something we have to say every time now.
I said it. I was like, I didn't get to read a synopsis before we saw the movie.
Oh.
So that was not my fault. You didn't say your penis, penile then.
It's really
important. So anywho, 90% like this movie on Google users. Born under usual circumstances, Benjamin Button, Brad Pitt, springs into being as an elderly man in a New Orleans nursing home and ages in reverse. 12 years after his birth, he meets Daisy, a child who flickers in and out of his life as she grows up to be a dancer. Kate Blanchett. Oh, okay. I mean, I knew she looked familiar, I just didn't remember her name.
Yeah.
Through he has seen all sorts of unusual adventures over the course of his life. It is in his relationship with Daisy, geez Louise, and he hopes that he will come together at the right time. Hope that they will come together at the right time that drives Benjamin forward. Release date is December 25th, 2008. Director is David Fincher. A lot of stars in it, starring Brad Pitt, Kate Blanchett. I don't know how to say that. I think it's the guy that's going to be playing a new Blade. Tara G.P. Hansen, that's the mom. Julia Orman, Jason Flinning. I don't know how to say those names. Those are kind of complicated.
And lots of words.
Yeah, but it was a lot of known people in this movie. And what was I saying? So good thing I didn't really read the synopsis because I probably would not have been as interested.
I was surprised when you chose that movie, actually.
So a buddy from work, they told me 2 movies to watch. One of them told me one first, and it's called Bone Tomahawk. But apparently it is very graphic, not like, I don't think sexual wise, but it's like one of those old timey movies, but it's like cowboys versus Indians. So there's a lot of movies. Like death and destruction and scalping and stuff like that, and probably the R word and murder. So I was like, I don't know if I want to put our people that do listen on that like kind of road. Then they stop
listening just because you chose a terrible movie.
I might just watch that movie like on my own or on our own if wifey wants to watch it. So
I have no desire to watch any.
Then I'll watch it on my own.
Western,
because he's been wanting me to see it. But so I picked The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and I'm glad I did. So It's a long movie, but I'll give my points of view on it at the end.
So, yes. Overall, it was a good movie.
You gotta do your points, babe. We say how we like the
points.
movie at the end. We don't say it right now,
I'm
man.
working through it. You
Clearly
didn't let me.
not.
Why do you yell at me?
Because I love you so much.
Great. So the movie starts out where there's this old lady in a hospital, Katrina.
She's not an old lady. Oh, you're talking about
Daisy,
older. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's an old lady.
I thought you were talking about the mom that was giving birth to the old baby.
We start there, and with movies like this, it's kind of irritating that they always start at the same way, like an old person telling a story or reading a diary, or it's like the fucking Notebook. It's
never seen it. I don't want to see it.
It's not really that great.
Don't pick it.
I won't.
Good, because I won't watch that.
You have to if I choose.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so it just, every movie that starts out like that, it's not bad. It's just kind of played out, and I get kind of over it. But so we start out with the nurse, like they're in the hospital. Hurricane Katrina comes in, and then the daughter starts reading the diary. But I have a question about the diary in general. How did he start writing it before his birth?
What do you mean?
They was talking about when he was born and then how he grew up, and I just usually you don't really have recollection until you're like 4 or 5.
Babe, when he's old enough to start writing, he can talk about his life.
I'm not saying no. I mean, when he goes from birth to 5, he wrote about that time frame.
Yeah, because he's old enough to remember it and write about it.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm talking about. Because you wouldn't.
I'm not getting what you're not understanding. Why can't someone write about when they were born?
Because from 0 to 5, you don't understand. You don't remember. Like,
you remember? You say you told me things you remember when you were 2. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So if you can remember that,
but
means he can remember.
He was very graphic. That's a word.
Graphic, yeah.
He was very graphic and detailed about his life, as if he knew and remembered each little aspect. To me, that is just, I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, it's a movie trying to explain, to let us know what all is happening. So maybe they did go a little bit overboard with him being young. But still, like you always say, oh, well, I needed them to clarify what happened here, and I needed them to clarify this. And now you get your clarification, and you still shun it. You're like, well, he should have remembered all that because he was like 5 years old.
Nellie really wants to sit on your lap. Oh, God.
She's all right. She's a cat. She has 9 lives, and she just comes
lost
right
like
back.
5. Wait, she's going to jump up again. This is the second time. Or third time.
So Nellie is like really wanting to be on my lap for some reason. She's jumped on my lap like 3 times, and I put her on the ground, and now this is the 4th time she's gotten on my lap. She just wants to sit here. Anyway, so yeah, they were just explaining the background, I guess. So I thought it was very needed because at first I didn't know what the fuck was happening until I started to see him like kind of get older. And, well, not really. Well, get older, but younger. Yeah. And I was like, so he's going in reverse. Which is, I mean, that's freaking dope. Like,
is kind of interesting and very foreshadowy of the clock in the beginning.
Exactly. Yep.
Where it was going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, if I was the person who commissioned for that clock to be made for, I think it's Grand Central Station, I would be pissed off.
The people were pissed.
Well, no, the guy was sad because of the war and shit.
Yeah, and he made a good point. That's why everybody didn't. That's why that clock was up there for what, like 60 years or something like that? Possibly. 50 years? And then they finally changed it to digital.
How did a blind guy make a clock? That to me is weird.
Babe, people can do crazy things. I'm
just putting it out there. It's a visual thing, and you can feel, yes, she needs to stop rubbing against that. It's a visual thing, and you need to make sure that it looks right. And I understand he could do the gears and such, but it's just the visual aspect of it to me just was a little.
And I'm sure the mom probably helped him out.
She walks in and she's like, "It looks like shit."
I'm sure she had some say and help and what he was doing, or a friend or something. I'm pretty sure he didn't do it all by himself. I mean, it's a big ass clock.
Okay, so fast forwarding.
You're looking too far in depth of things, babe.
I know, but that's just my question.
It's a movie. Just like, how does the Avengers do what they do? You know it's fictional, right?
Magic. You're telling me there's not talking raccoons?
No. What is
Trash Panda?
No. What is damn it, Lord of Thunder, fucking Thor, call the guy from the little. Oh, he calls him Rabbit, I think.
Yeah, he calls him a rabbit.
Shit was
rabbit
hilarious.
thing?
Yeah, little rabbit. He's like,
Okay.
Because Thor is just a meathead, or not a meathead. He's just what is it? When it's like a jock, but they're not very smart. They call him something.
Meathead.
No.
Stupid?
Like dumb jock, but it's something else. Fuck, I can't think of it. Maybe someone might tell me, call me or text me like, oh, it's this. I'm like, oh yeah. I can't think of it.
Words
anyway.
are hard.
Anyway, as you were saying.
So we're going to fast forward up to when Benjamin Button was birthed. If it was, I liked your comment when you saw him. He's like, oh my God, that's not a baby. It's a demon.
Yeah, that thing was fucking scary.
It was so wrinkly. I know babies come out wrinkled sometimes.
Not like that.
Definitely not like that.
That was like insanely scary.
The doctor comes in and just is like, yeah, he lost elasticity in his hands and feet. La, la, la. And I'm like, well, yeah, because he's like 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah, he's like probably, 80-something when he was born?
But you have to think about it. He was birthed at the exact time his technical death would have been. So he's that old.
Yeah.
And then...
But even though he died pretty young, I guess we'll get to that. But because they said last he was 40 something.
49.
49. So he probably passed at 60 or something.
70s probably.
I don't think so. Well, yeah, maybe because she
was older and she was holding him as a baby and he was maybe about 12 or 13.
Yeah, so maybe he passed when he was 70 something, 80.
But we find out that he had dementia, which sucks.
He had dementia and he had pimples.
That sucked. But
he came up with a good point though. He's like, you can't raise the two of us because she would have been
a single mom.
Something.
But it's so creepy to think that she fucked him when he was an adult. But then he grew younger, and it's like,
died as a
and she's
baby in
walking
her
down
arms.
the street with a little toddler, and I just to think,
she's like the mother of this toddler, but yet she used to bang him, and they have a kid together. That was a little weird to think about.
Ew.
But it's the love for each other, though. I like the one thing that he said. He was something about nothing ever stays the same, and she said some things do stay the same, and it's the love they have for each other ever since it's Daisy knew as a little girl that he wasn't actually an old man, and she basically fell in love with him then, and then they were always in love with each other, and then they finally got together. I thought that was really sweet.
Well, she was kind of a cunt when he went to go visit her in New York, and then she kind of just left him. And I'm like, I understand where she's coming from, saying you should have called first, but at the same rate, he took time out of his day to go visit. I don't know.
I mean, but they see each other and they don't talk for years or something, or months.
He writes letters to her.
But still, it's not the same as they're just he sent her a letter saying that he fell in love with that married lady who just dipped out on him too.
Deuces, Tilda.
I mean, it was just they were still, even though they were with other people, they still had a love for each other that just never was broken.
That's true.
So that was really awesome.
We're just jumping around the movie. Well, it's very true because it was back and forth a lot. So you're welcome. You're getting the real life version of it, of us talking.
Mm-hmm.
So then I like how in the movie, I don't know if you noticed, but he was using an ear horn, which is back in the day, their hearing aid. And he was dropping the fork and he had it. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize what that was. I mean, I knew it had to help the hearing somehow, but I didn't know that was back then hearing aids.
My grandpa was born in the 1918.
Yeah, he was born in 1918.
Yeah, so was my grandpa. But he died. He's been dead.
Open this.
He's been dead for a while. But he looked like a raccoon when he died. Anyway,
Who looked like a raccoon?
my grandpa.
Oh, they talking about Benjamin Button.
No, he looked like a baby.
He did look like a little baby. A normal baby.
I remember the ending, but I couldn't remember exactly how it ended, and I was really hoping it would go to the, like, zygote where it would split into, like, two.
Why would they go that in depth? They don't know.
That's how you give birth. Like, when your sperm goes into the egg and then it starts splitting.
But how are they going to, what, he's going to split into a sperm and an egg?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I expected it. I wanted to see it.
No.
It needs to be educational.
I was wondering how they're going to have him die. Like, I wonder if he was going to be like a baby, if he was going to be, I don't know, something else. But
that sucked. She had to take care of two babies. One when she was at maybe like 43 or whatever, and then another when she was at 80
like
or something.
70 or 80.
That sucks. And it's your responsibility because he literally has nobody else. And
no one else. I mean, all his family members passed away.
all the old folks.
All the old folks passed away. Like, he had literally nobody besides Daisy.
That was really sad. And he was living in a condemned building from that age where he went to see her one last time and then to a 13-year-old. He was staying in a condemned building by himself. That's sad and depressing.
What is a condemned building?
That's what they said when he was playing the piano when he had pimples.
But what is a condemned building?
It's a broken down building.
Oh, he was living there?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, I think that's when they found him sleeping. It's like he was sleeping outside or something.
In a condemned building. I just said it like 4 times. It's
crazy when he kind of, I wouldn't say he grew up poor, but I guess he sort of did. And then he ended up getting inheritance from his dad. Mm-hmm. So then he ended up kind of being rich, I guess. You see all his clothes change, and he's wearing like all this like suits and nice jackets. And he sells everything so he can give it to the moms. And he's like kind of broke again. But like, it's like when he was broke, he was traveling everywhere.
Because he worked on a tugboat, so that allowed him to travel. And then travel back in the day was not expensive. You could work.
I guess it's not like it was now.
You could work at different locations and then just make enough money to make it to the next town, and then you could work at that new town. And
it was probably less than like $100 to go somewhere.
Which would be amazing. I wish it was like that, but
I know. I mean, he had a very good life though. Like
interesting, yeah.
He had a very interesting life. He was a good person, which was crazy. Considering his dad like left him on a porch.
That dad was a douchebag.
$18.
And first, going back to the dad pulling the baby out of that crib, how he did that baby's head.
Yanked it.
That baby's head. That baby would have had whiplash.
Especially how old the baby technically was.
In baby form.
It would have been. Neck would have been snapped.
And then on top of that, the black dude, I think Mr. Weathers.
Yeah, Weathers.
He stepped on the baby. That kid, first day he was born, had a very terrible situation and just got ran over. And then he looked like turd.
Death. He had rolls as a newborn baby.
But not the roles you're supposed to have. He didn't look like a Michelin man. He looked like...
And he was like blind, I think. Like he couldn't even open his eyes.
He had
like
cataracts.
Yeah, cataracts. Like that was crazy. But Very interesting. Very interesting.
As we go into random
and
section.
again, I wanted to like tear up again at the end because it was like the lady, like the love of his life, had to take care of him as like a kid. Try to get him to remember, but it was like cute because she was like, when he was a baby right before he died, she's like, I knew in that moment when he looked at me, he remembered who I was, and then Dunskies.
Wow.
Almost teared.
Fake cry. Yeah, it's... The middle part was a little bit long for me when he was like caught.
When he was caught?
Hot.
Oh. Well, you know the women watching it in theaters want to see the hot Brad Pitt.
They could have shortened it.
Mm-hmm. You liked it.
I don't like Brad Pitt that much. I mean,
yeah, because he's a pretty boy. You don't like pretty boys.
I like weird people.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
That's why you're married to me.
You're welcome.
Spanx. Twice.
Yay.
One for each cheek.
Okay, this is getting weird. So that's not a baby, that's a demon. So when he's a kid and goes to the church, okay, so my parents used to watch this TV show called Benihana. No, that's
a restaurant?
Ben something, Benny something. He was one of those faith healers who would have revivals and bullshit, and then he would put his hands on your head, and then he'd push you, and you'd fall and collapse and seizure and crap. It was so boring, and I hated it. I did not enjoy that. So when they went to the church and he faith healed the mom, and then Benjamin, I forgot his name for a second. Ben, it was just, I was waiting for him to trip him and be like, let the faith of God heal you.
Oh, yeah. But instead, the preacher died.
He deserved it because he's lying to people. Because that's fake. You know that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay.
He doesn't have, like, the freaking power of God.
The people who do that nowadays who are faith healers, they literally take people's money. And the church is not taxed, so they don't have to pay taxes, so they get extra money.
Nice.
Well, no, it's not nice. They should be paid because now we can't have abortions. And so that church got into government. Guess what? Government taxed the churches. We would be out of debt. Very true. Anyway, I'm off my little soapbox.
Hey, you had a soapbox, and I didn't.
I had
this
a
time.
soapbox moment.
You did.
I really think we should just get rid of the government altogether and start over.
Or it should go back to the people having the rights.
Which should be in the first place.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know that almost happened, too, recently.
Should.
I don't know about recently, but it was...
Because
we were talking about it at work. Like, apparently the I don't know what you call it. I'm probably going to be saying this wrong, but it's basically like the deed of the United States.
Oh, Constitution.
It was, it was like founded by two brothers, I think it is. And
the United States?
Yeah.
It was founded by the Vikings.
No, not the United States. I mean, it's like the bill, like.
The Constitution.
Sure, whatever. The bill.
Okay,
it was almost.
So be shocked at how little we know about American history. I'm
trying to explain it a little bit because I was talking about a guy about it at work, and I just can't fully remember the whole story, but it was like maybe some years ago, that piece of paper that states whatever it states about whoever has that basically owns the rights to the United States. These two brothers.
So it's the title for the United States.
Title. There we go. Not the deed. The title for the United States. These two brothers, they had it, but they gave it to someone or gave it back or something like that. They lost it. Some shit. Anyway, it was almost back to the people's hands, but didn't happen. That's the moral of the story.
People ruling.
And now we have what we call a government.
You got real sad. Anyway, that's our political moment for the day.
Yeah, right. That's our political soapbox.
We're so terrible at I'm so bad at American history that it's
bad.
The only thing I'm really good at is like the weird, like America's weird shit, like the Salem witch trials, Roanoke Island. I can literally just.
Well, yeah, because you like that sort of stuff. I can't even tell you the date of World War I, II, or if there was a third one.
There's not a third one.
Okay,
technically.
awesome. I can't tell you.
I know 1918 was when it stopped.
1918? That's when he was born. Oh, yeah, when they said that in the movie. Yeah. So you were born after the, what do they say? Something
Great War.
Great War.
And then World War II, I know, happened sometime in the 40s. 45.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
Look at me.
1918, well, that's when it ended. Weren't those like for years?
Sometimes. I don't know. I'm like, again, I don't pay attention to the war
That's
stuff.
crazy
so
how a war can go on for years. Like, that means people are killing each other left and right for years.
Did you know the Civil War in the United States was the highest body count for Americans because it was American versus American?
Of course. Jesus.
Anyway, back to the movie.
We need to fucking just stand together, guys. Stand together.
Let's discuss my favorite character. Are you done?
Maybe.
Let's discuss my... I'm going to kick you.
I didn't even say anything that time.
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
Anyway, so let's discuss my favorite character. Can you guess who it is?
Your favorite character?
Uh-huh.
In the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite character in the movie. You never said anything, so...
Captain Mike.
He's my favorite.
He's my favorite. I win.
You never even said he was your favorite. I was like, I love Captain Mike. You said something, you're in a restaurant. I couldn't hear anything you said. So.
I said, oh, I love Captain Mike.
Did not hear any of that.
Well, you don't listen to me.
Yeah,
so.
Captain Mike was awesome. I love Captain. He like showed Benjamin like
the world. I can show you
basically
the
how
world.
to like get with a woman even though he went to a brothel.
Shining, shimmering.
Wouldn't he have like
splendid
stuff down there?
I would think so. He just randomly got syphilis and didn't start showing until he was old.
And then like I don't, because he said, "Are you here?" So he did go back multiple times, right?
He said he learned a way to spend his money.
Because like he was like, "Are you here tomorrow?" She's like, "I'm here every day besides Sunday." So and you see him like go again, and then he likes leaving, but then you don't see him go again. So I'm assuming he went more than once.
Probably, I don't know. I don't pay.
That was like you would because they sleep around, right? It's like
it's a brothel, babe. Yes, like it's a whorehouse.
Yeah, a whorehouse. And
yes,
I'm pretty sure back then they didn't have condoms, right? And that probably by then it was like 19. What, he was born in 1918, so like 1930 something, 1940 something.
Then he would be 22. I don't think he was that old. I think he was like 17 or 18.
Oh yeah, he was
because he went on the boat when he was 19.
So 10, that'll be 1928.
So 20.
Yeah, so like 1930 something.
1932. Well, let's say 1935.
Yeah, so that's.
Look at us do math, people. Arrow's chewing up his rope, and he just got a piece off of it, so we just don't want him to die. Why do you have to do that, bud? Oh, yeah, and he murdered a turtle this week.
Oh, yeah. He did murder a turtle. Like, he literally ripped the front part of the top shell off.
That's terrifying. I thought turtle season was over. B, he just thinks it's a toy and he rips it apart.
Turtle season? They live for a long time. What do you mean turtle season is over?
When they're born, that was a little baby one.
I mean, we have turtles all over our backyard because there's like a little pond right over there. So we're probably going to be getting a lot of them.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to deal with him murdering them.
Well, they need to stop coming into the yard, I guess. I don't really know how to stop that. They're just trying to
live their best life.
If we had a privacy wood fence, and they wouldn't be able to get in here, period. But we have chain link, and I guess there's some type of opening somewhere.
They climb up.
That would be creepy.
The little baby arms.
It's like Ninja Turtles, but in actual turtle form.
Donatello.
Without having strong back legs.
But so he goes to the tugboat. He goes to war. That's still really scary. And then the guy on there, I think his name was Grimm. He died. He predicted his own death, and he gave him a wad of cash. And it was nice that Benjamin sent
like Benjamin was a really good dude. Like this guy gives you all of his however long he was out there for earnings, and it's like, you seem like a trustworthy guy. Can you give this to my wife? And like Benjamin actually did. Like that's freaking crazy.
But one thing about Benjamin that kind of bothers me. Oh my God, I felt something on my leg. It was Nelly. One thing that bothers me about Benjamin is that he sits there and stares. And I know he enjoys listening, but it's just really creepy. Even when he was Brad Pitt, like normal looking Brad Pitt.
It's like he was creepy in general because he would sit there and still talk with a raspy voice until he was like the teenager looking version of Brad Pitt. And he finally like started talking normal, I guess. But it was always like really raspy. And I'm just like, he sounds like he's like has someone in his basement.
Oh yeah, he probably did. He's like on the outside, he's nice and he's a pillar of the community, but then in the darkness of the shadows, we have Benjamin Button, the serial killer.
He's like Jack the Ripper.
Except it's Ben the Ripper.
But Benjamin the Ripper.
Ben the Ripper. There we go, but it's American version. Wait, yes. Because Jack the Ripper's in England.
Well, I mean, he's from New Orleans, so.
Nolans.
I like when he tells her, like, yeah, I'm from New Orleans. The first woman he was in love with, the married woman. He's Elizabeth. Like, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. She's like, I didn't know there was another.
That was funny.
That was funny.
I love Tilda. She is one of my favorite actresses.
And she's in Constantine.
And she's in Only Lovers Left Alive.
That is going to be one of my movies for sure, is Constantine. Love that movie.
I want to... Only Lovers Left Alive was a indie movie that I went to with one of my best friends in Korea. His name, I'm not going to give his name, but it's M. If you listen, you know who you are. I call him Diane. because we were Dark Sisters together. And so we went to go see that, and it was actually really good. It was about vampires and how they're...
Oh, nice. I'll watch that.
Yeah, it's not your typical vampire movie, but it's really interesting. And so I definitely want to have that in as one of the movies
Why
that
don't
we
you
watch.
have it as the next movie?
I have one chosen already that I'm going to do.
Whatever.
Anyway, so then that's pretty much like all the points that I wanted. Like going into war and being on the ocean, that would be really scary if you randomly saw something come up and it was a submarine.
I like how he basically went to war to be a cook.
He wasn't a cook. He was like a
He asked if, I mean, he was all
Well,
of
at
that,
the
but
end,
he
yeah.
mainly went on there to go cook. Because a cook,
his wife was
the
sick.
guy, the wife was sick, so he had to leave. Like, oh, who's going to cook now? And then he's like, well, I can cook. He's been doing it his whole life. So he went to technically go cook, but he was working on there, so you know how to do basically everything.
Well, when you go on a boat like that, you're not only just one thing. You're everything. You have to do everything.
That's what he did.
But I like
Captain Mike.
He didn't go to school. He got a job on a tugboat, and that's just who he was. So he never had any schooling. I was thinking about that at the end when he was like a teenager, when she was talking about raising him. Sorry, he's already risen. Like, he's to the deathbed stage when he's supposed to be a teenager. And so when she kept on saying, you can't raise two kids. You can't raise... I'm sorry, you're like on the verge of death. You're going down. So
She or him?
Him.
Yeah.
Because he kept on telling her at the end when she was pregnant that you can't raise two kids. And she's like, I can raise two kids. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, not technically. Like, you're just going to take care of him until he dies.
Yeah. And when he gets there, she said that he was right. And he was. Especially like seeing him go through what he did. I mean, he got dementia. He got dementia really bad. He didn't even remember her. He didn't remember eating. Like they said,
that happens in nursing homes. That's
crazy.
Really
like I've heard people say like they don't wish dementia on like their worst enemy. It's like
my
it
grandma.
can be that bad.
I think she had Alzheimer's or something.
Yeah, or Alzheimer's. One of the two. I think it's dementia.
He had dementia in the movie.
I know that, but I'm saying I can't remember which one someone said.
They're
like
very
the worst.
similar. It's just you lose your mind. But my grandma had Alzheimer's, and it was like she'll be lucid, then all of a sudden she'll start talking, and it's gibberish, and we just sit there and stare at her.
Like that one time you were speaking Korean in your sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Okay, that makes sense.
Runs in the family. So overall, it was a decent movie.
Decent my ass. It was fucking great. Quit being rude. What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
I'm going to give it a fucking 15.
You can't get a 15.
Well, it's getting a 15. I really enjoyed it. Like I like how you say I was not going to probably like it.
I really thought you weren't going to like it.
And I don't know why, but even from the very beginning, I was like, when you first see the baby, you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is that thing?
Like, what is happening? So I was like already hooked when I first saw the baby. And I was like, I want to know what is going on here. And then I caught on. I was like, wow. Then, I mean, the dude had a fucking fantastic life. He did, to me.
Yeah, he traveled a lot. That's
like
ideal.
He saw a lot of shit.
And he fathered a kid, and he didn't have to take care of it.
Wow. I mean, that's not great, but I mean,
He's lucked out.
But he had to. I mean, he was going to be a baby in like 5 years.
Maybe he faked him getting younger just to get out of that.
Pretty sure you can't do that, babe.
There you go, guys. If you are trying to get out of raising a baby.
Because he actually looked like a little kid. We can't do that. But like,
people are dumb out there. You could try it. If you try that out on your girl that you got pregnant and just say, I don't think it's fair that you have to raise 2 kids. Sorry.
I don't think that could work.
I know. But that's the movie. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. I can still give it an 8. Like it was too long. It could have been shorter.
It could not have been shorter.
To me, it could have been shorter.
To you, because you're evil. So.
Great. Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Just tell all my secrets out on the podcast.
Sure am.
Great. Okay.
Want me to tell any others?
That I know of.
That you hate me?
Yes, I do. I'm going to be on Snap, people. Okay. So let's move on to our topic of discussion today. Do you remember what it is?
Nope, sure don't.
So I was watching The Avatar, and I finished it, and I love that movie, a TV show. It's really cute. From Nickelodeon, so it's kid-friendly. And we were going to discuss what type of bender you would be.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the elemental bender.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, shoot. What
So
bender would you be?
I really struggle. So we have all the four elements. We have air,
Fire, water, and ground or
Earth. And so I always go back and forth. One that I feel wouldn't be used, I don't know, I'm not really interested in, would be air. To me, that's a little bit boring.
I think I would be water because you can make it, you can have it as water, and you can also freeze it.
The way that Katara is the girl who was waterbender on the TV show. The way she used it was really cool. So she made an ice surfboard, and she was surfing like the waves and made her own waves. That's kind of cool. I think
I would be 100% hands down water. If not that, then I would be fire.
Oh my gosh! Stop chasing her, please. So Arrow's part healer, so he decides he needs to herd the cat on occasion, and she just runs around screaming. So if she's you heard that. Meh. Anyway, so I wouldn't be air. I feel air is a little bit boring. It's definitely how Aang did it was very useful, but to me, I just can't get around it.
I mean, air has its uses, but I think it's better if there's other elements involved.
Because as a weapon itself. On its own, but he's a monk, so he's trying to be passive. So anyway, we're not going to discuss the TV show but I really like it. For me, I struggled with two. Do you know which two I would struggle with?
I would say fire is one, and earth.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good job. I was going to be shocked if you didn't say Earth, because I really enjoy the fact that Earth is, you could do anything. So one of the characters on the TV show, she would make houses for herself, and she's like, I don't need you, and so she would stomp on the ground and a tent came up.
Earth would have been my other choice as well. Because Earth is pretty hardcore. It's pretty important too. I mean, you can do a lot of shit with that. You can get away from stuff. You can, make because water. I mean, don't you have to have water around?
Yeah, she has to have water around her. She can't.
Yeah, so it's that kind of sucks. So if you take water, and Earth can take water away.
Yeah, so. Earth can build, it can build up, go down, and then what I really liked was the character could manipulate metal because she found particles of Earth in it. And so she could manipulate. Dope. That was really cool.
So it's like Magneto if he finds metal in certain objects that don't look like there's metal
I got
in
injected with iron, and he's like, you have a lot of iron.
And he took it all out of him.
Anyway,
ouch.
But so I was struggling with those two. Water and air just are a little too passive for me. I know they can definitely be useful and it's cool and whatnot, but it's just.
See, air you always have abundance of. Yeah. And earth you always have an abundance of. Fire, don't you have to have fire around?
No.
They can just make it? Mm-hmm. So then why can't they just make fucking water then?
Spit.
How stupid.
I just know she carried around a little flask with her that she would open up and then she would
That's true. I think that was in the movie The Airbender too. The chick would have a flask with her as well. Okay, yeah.
So it is.
So you have to carry water around with you constantly.
So yeah. So you would be water, right? You said.
I would. Yeah, I would be water.
Still.
Yeah.
Fire just seems a little too destructive for me. We did watch Firestarter yesterday too. That was good.
It was not too bad. It wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be.
Daddy,
but
I
hope they make it. Yeah, that just ruined it because she said it so many times and it was just so creepy. They could have chose different words for that and said Daddy, I'm coming for you. It's ma'am, don't ever talk to me like that again.
Shut your whore mouth.
I would have fucking spanked her if my daughter talked to me like that. Daddy, I'm coming. Man, shut your fucking mouth.
Whore.
What? Fuck that. Mommy, that was so weird.
The word your dad chooses to describe you.
That was so weird.
I had Zac Efron in it. But yeah, so I would overall, Earth, you're going to choke her. The cat is again on his lap.
She just loves to sit on my lap.
Earth is my number one. I decided because it just is massive and you have it all around you. You never lose out on it, and I feel like you can
unless
throw
someone
rocks.
puts you in a metal room.
But then I can manipulate the metal like Toph did.
How? Only if there's earth in there.
Yeah, but there's always going to be
air
metal
that is made out of earth.
Yeah,
technically. So you basically always have
earth around.
Power.
Yeah. Fire was a close second. I kind of went back and forth. I was thinking about it this week, and it's just fire is very destructive.
I think I might change mine.
But stop breathing on my foot. The dog's breathing on my foot, and I don't like it. Fire is really destructive, but it's useful. They said something on the TV show. Even fire is destructive and is used as a weapon, but it actually is part of life. And so it helps you live. And so I thought that was really cool. So
I think I might switch mine to fire.
You want why?
I think, well, okay. Then we had to lay down some points first.
Okay.
Because you say in the show, I know we're not technically talking about the show, but we kind of are. So fire... it does not have to be manipulated. It's like they can make it on their own.
Yeah.
Stones, earth, you have that, but can she make it on her own? And she has to have earth around. Have earth. Okay, and same thing with water. Because that's what they're bending. You have to have water around, and then air. I mean, air is fucking everywhere. So, I like the fact that you don't have to have a catalyst, right? Mm-hmm. I like that you can just make it. So I would either be, I think it'll be fire than earth, just because.
Stop stealing my stuff. See, but then
I didn't know the whole rules here. Like, if I can just make water, then yeah, I'll fucking be water.
So together we would be unstoppable because I can make a cave or whatever to live in for us, and then you can make fire. Mm-hmm.
Like
she kept on
scab off. Yeah, I think if I can make water, I would be water. If I can't, then I'll be fire.
What was really cool is one of the last episodes when they were fighting the big fight. The girl, she would have water on her arms as like an appendage, and she would just like take people out and make it bigger. It was really cool.
I like the Airbender. I hate that it got like the movie. I hate that it got like a bad review. It's because people were expecting it to be like rated R, but the guy said that he was making it for it was a Nickelodeon. He was making it for kids, really.
M. Night Shyamalan.
But it got a lot of bad reviews because they thought it was too kiddish.
It's supposed to be kiddish.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, and it's a kid cartoon. So it's like, why would you make a movie rated R? It's like,
they wanted it rated X.
That's why I fucking hate people. I hate a lot of people nowadays. Because, like, same thing with so we did end up seeing Independence Day for those who listened to our last podcast when we had the Independence Day one. We did see Independence Day Resurgence, and I liked it. It was really good. It was different from the first one. Obviously, Will Smith isn't in it, but what was I going to say? It got a lot of bad reviews for some reason, and they are not going to make a third one now. And I thought it was a third because at the end of the movie, they said a comment in it that made it seem like they're going to make a third one. And then...
when they were going to go attack the aliens.
Don't say it, babe. I mean, I guess they're not going to make a third. But it's like for people, you're ruining the movie for people who might want to watch it.
I barely said anything.
Yeah, because I tried to stop you, so hopefully no one heard. But anyway, like it was a good one. I was hoping that they would make a third one, and it got shut down because I guess the box office was not what they planned, probably because it probably took a lot to make that movie because there's a lot of CGI and stuff, and then shut down. So I was like really disappointing.
It was really entertaining though. And then yesterday I watched Child's Play. I never saw the original.
Yeah, she never saw the original Child's Play, so she watched that last night too. I saw it. I mean, even though I don't fully remember all of it, but I saw it years and years ago.
That kid making breakfast for his mom.
Oh, my God. Burning the toast, putting it on the plane, and putting a big-ass blob of butter on it. Jeez,
that was funny. So you're going to be a firebender.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be earthbender. Mm-hmm. And we will take over the world.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway. That's...
Well, let us know what for those who listen, what airbender you would want to be.
Not airbender, a bender. What elemental bender?
Whatever. what bender you would want to be and why.
I think our points are very solid.
I think they are.
But change our minds. Why not? So next time, do you want to know what the movie is?
How would I? There's a million movies out there.
I asked if you want to know.
Oh, well, yeah.
No, it's a secret.
I thought you said, can you guess the movie? I'm like, that's impossible.
So the movie next time is Superbad.
Oh, nice. Good choice. Good choice.
You can watch it on Hulu. You can watch it, I believe it's on Amazon Prime, and they do have it on Redbox.
Good choices, babe. I
love that movie.
knew I kept you around for a reason.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, you're so annoying.
I know.
What's your topic? You wrote it down.
I know I did. That's why
So
I wrote
every
it
time
down.
he has to think of a topic, he struggles with it, and I always tell him, think about a topic because it's your turn this time. You have
And a week later, I never thought about it
and then
at all.
we'll sit here and look through the phone, like at different topics to discuss. And then I'll be like, okay. And he has to write it down or he'll forget. I honestly
will.
don't.
If I don't write shit down, it's funny because I used to work at Papado as a bartender, and I never wrote anything down. The only time I write orders down is if I had like over 6 people sitting at the bar, and then I would write shit down. Before, if it's like 6 or less, I can take the drink order, I take the food order, appetizer order, and I think I only messed up like a handful of times. But now, I gotta fucking write shit down. So anyway, my topic is going to be, do you believe in fate?
So fate is more of a discussion about your life and how it's ending up. And it seems like a good, interesting topic. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited.
So that's our show today.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Make sure, y'all, help us out. You need to make sure to rate and review. Sorry, the dog is itching and she has really bad allergies.
She has we have to give her an allergy pill every morning, and she is not itching as bad as she has been. But before we started giving the allergy pill, oh my Lord. It was like every freaking 2 minutes or every second she was scratching and scratching. I felt
no, she's so much better.
So bad, but she's a lot better. She's not scratching as much, but she still is scratching.
Back to the discussion at hand.
No.
So make sure to rate and review us. It will help us out. It gets more listeners so that we can keep on going. If you like the show and you would like to donate, please go to inforthenightpodcast.com, and there is a Patreon section where you can donate. We have different tiers, so definitely do that. We will be doing videos on there. We'll be posting different things, and you'll get to see the pups and how happy they are. Also, write in. We're Not Qualified episode is coming up, so please, please, please send an email to inforthenight69@gmail.com and write us and have the subject line as advice. Or if you have any topics, like anything to add on to any of our topics that you want to discuss, please do that as well.
Hell yeah.
You were waiting to do that. Your face kept on.
I was. I was waiting for that good pause.
But other than that, that is it. We're done today.
Hope we gave y'all a reason to stay in for tonight. I wanted to say it. I said it.
You said it this time.
I did.
Peace.